Okay, we are live. So this is episode 98 of Nansen Office Hours. This time I've got Jonathan with me from OKX Chain. We're going to be discussing OKX Chain developments, as well as how users of OKX Chain, or any chain, can benefit from using Nansen Portfolio. So drop your gems in the chat. Feel free to ask anything that you'd like. Before we start, if you're new to Office Hours, every Wednesday we do a Nansen and Chill session, look at new features, answer any questions, hopefully provide alpha leaks. This one is more of like a product overview. And so, yeah, make sure that you subscribe, turn notifications on so you don't miss out on anything in the future. If you want to start using Nansen as well, we have a link below to check out our plan so that you can subscribe. So, yeah, let's start off. I think the first thing we want to do, Jonathan, is I'm going to ask you about OKX Chain. So do you want to give like an overview of what it is, the key features, maybe when it was developed, and then kind of the future developments or the current developments that you've had?
Yeah. First, thank you, Alex, for
Yeah.
handling this conversation. Just a quick intro. I'm Jonathan, and I'm also like from the director of OKX Chain ecosystem development. Just to give a brief like introduction of OKX Chain, I mean, what we are is like we are a layer 1 EVM compatible chain, and also based on a Cosmos SDK. On the development side, we've been like building a lot of like partnership and integration with like major protocol. We consider Nansen Portfolio to be one major, of course. I'm sure like we will go through more details about it. But we're also building like an infrastructure of product that can be connected to different blockchain on top of like the OKX chain. Like we have the wallet, the NFT marketplace. We have like a swap and also like a DEX aggregator and also like a atomic swap, kind of like similar to a bridge. And we are planning to develop more and more product in the pipeline. So very glad that to have to be here and to discuss more about that.
Yeah, I think, am I right? There's 300 or over 300, projects built on OKX Chain.
Yeah, we have about a bit more than 300 projects now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have more and more projects coming on board and more interest that we can observe past few months. So we're very happy with the performance currently of our chain, since we are not, I would say, the most popular blockchain, but like we are very happy to see more and more traction and more top tier project approaching us to collaborate.
So on that note, so I spoke to you before, what are some of your favorite projects, including Nansen Portfolio, that are now like integrated or partnered with OKX Chain?
Yeah, so obviously Nansen was one of my favorite. Before it was named Apeboard, but I was already using like Nansen like for very quick on-chain analysis. But on my side, my favorite protocol, I would say like project collaborating with OKX Chain are mainly either on the in the infrastructure or on the DeFi. On the DeFi side, one of my favorite one is like Orion protocol. What they do is like they kind of like aggregate like centralized exchange order books and also DEX pool into their own platform, and everything is fully decentralized. So that means you still hold your private key and your assets on your wallet, and you can trade like a centralized exchange on their platform. So that's one of my favorite DeFi protocol. I have obviously more, like I'm close to Unstoppable Domain. I really like their product because they facilitate basically like the transition from people who never use crypto into crypto by replacing basically like the wallet address by like something that can be read by human eyes. And last one will be Pod 3. So Pod 3, also called SoGraph. They are in simple word like those marketing tools that allow user to track on-chain data activity. Like let's say you run a campaign on-chain. With Pod 3, you'll be able to retrieve all the data on-chain and do some analysis regarding the performance, regarding the region, and all those stuff. So yeah, that's basically like my favorite protocol currently.
Okay, nice. Can I ask you, because I've got a Unstoppable Domain. I think I bought it last year, but haven't kept up with what they're doing. So does that redirect to any chain address? Is it Bitcoin from memory, or is it any?
The way unstable domain works, so it's a bit different from ENS. I'm sure you're familiar with ENS, which is like a link to only Ethereum. Unstable domain will be not as decentralized. However, they facilitate that in a way that they centralize like basically the link between the domain name and any blockchain. That's mean like, let's say you have like a domain name called Alex Nansen. You will have a dashboard on unstable domain, and you'll be able to manage to which wallet and to which chain this domain name will link to that address. So I think they are integrated with more than 20 blockchain already, including OKX Chain, Bitcoin, obviously, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, all the very well-known one are integrated, and then you can manage all the wallet address from their platform. So it's extremely friendly. One of the requirement, I would say, or the limit is like, in order to use unstable domain, the wallet need to support the domain name as well. I think like Trust Wallet, the major one, you integrate them already, and OKX Wallet also integrate them.
Okay, nice. We need to make sure that we get these protocols, your favorite ones, added to Portfolio, but that's a good lead onto Portfolio. So if I share my screen, okay, give me a second. So I think what we will start off with, actually, I'm thinking it might be helpful. So if we start off as like an intro anyway, so Portfolio is completely free to use. There's like various features that are slightly better or like more access if you have a Nansen account, which we can go over. But in general, pretty much everything is free to use. So if I start with this like protocols tab, because it might be helpful. So this shows you all the chains that we support, and then all the protocols that we support as well. So if we go down, there's a lot to find. We don't have a ton at the moment for OKX Chain, but that's because we're early on in our like partnership. But if you go down to the bottom here, so we've got OKC, it shows Cherry Swap, Flux, WePiggy, and Seabridge, and you can click and then go over to look at them as well. So what we have done, me and Jonathan have worked to find a couple good wallets that kind of give a good example of this. So this is the first one. So you just basically, as you would with any portfolio tracker, you just enter in your wallet address that you want to take a look at the top here. And then here it will show you your net worth, your claimable assets and debts. So this has been particularly like in focus over the last few days with all the like Aave stuff that's been happening. So yeah, this wallet here is a good example because it has various tokens on OKX Chain. It's got OKB, OKT. What are the differences actually between these two, Jonathan?
Yeah, so that's a good question because sometimes I think people are a bit confused. OKB is the token that is more utility on the centralized exchange part. So mainly it was like it is for like the launchpad. So like the more you hold, the more you can have in allocation for like any type of IO on our exchange, and you have other further like utility on the centralized exchange. So I would say it's a more centralized exchange utility. Whereas OKT is like the native token for OKX Chain. So it's going to be like the one using for the gas fee and further utility coming on. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And then obviously we have USDT. Do you know this one? I'm going to quiz you. So obviously this one is Cherry Swap. What token is this? JF.
JF, I think, is the name of the. I forget the name of the. Is it J Finance? I'm not too sure. Actually.
We can look. Let's have a look. Oh no, it doesn't tell us what actual token it is. Okay, I could probably go into a whole.
If
let's
we
look
see on CoinGecko. Yeah, JSwap Finance. Okay, yeah. The logo was familiar. I always get confused with Auto Farm token for some reason.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's JSwap Finance.
Okay, nice. That's a good example actually of on Portfolio. You can just click and look at the various tokens.
And you can find out like which token it is if you don't recognize the logo.
Exactly, yeah. And sometimes we have like Nansen here if we like support it on our main product as well. So you can go into like further deep dives for it. If I give example here, like all of this comes up for Ethereum. And then here, I think it is a nice example. So this is one of the protocols that we have. I think we did a Twitter space, which I couldn't make it to. That was with Cherry Swap, was it? From memory. Do you know, Jonathan? a few weeks ago.
I think I saw it. Like you guys was doing like a panel discussion with Cherry Swap, and I think with James from our community management, right?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so we had a chat with them about what they've been up to as well. So yeah, this is one of the protocols that we support. And you can see like really clearly, this wallet is like using it to farm. So they've got Cherry Swap and then wrapped OKT, and they're getting these rewards, and it shows you the APR. So it's all like really nice, really easy to understand. Again, the USDT and the Cherry Swap token. I'm not entirely sure what Cherry Swap token does, but and then you earn APR. Yep.
Does that show like the liquidity provider token here? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I don't know the protocol well enough, to be honest with you.
And
I don't know. We can find out.
Yeah.
So next one that we've got, actually, because we're for the OKC episode, you could use the OKC filter here at the top. So if you click this, you can filter just to show only OKC assets. Transactions, I can show you, but we don't have for OKC yet. It'd be amazing if we did. So if I go on all chains, it should show some. So from memory, this is good to quiz me. So we have a ton of chains supported, but only, I think, and you can find out on a Twitter account, I think it's around 25 ish for transactions that we support. So then here you can see for Ethereum, but it comes up with like readable transactions. Hopefully we can get this for OKC, it'd be very cool. It's like, makes it really easy to understand what's going on. So yeah, and then let's go on analytics. So for analytics, it comes up with a lot of the things that you can actually see on the first page if you scroll through like this, but it comes up with all of them on one tab. So here we have all your token allocation, your protocol allocation. So you can see only a small portion of it is on Cherry Swap. And then it will show you your like asset breakdown. So how much has been going up or down or whatever. Same thing for asset worth. And then you can see how you've been performing versus Bitcoin and ETH. So this wallet has been outperforming. Obviously, been a bit of a terrible market in the last couple of weeks, but still outperforming. And you can see, cumulative profit and loss in the last 7 days as well. So they're up 3,000. And this is your daily profit and loss as well. Stop me wherever, Jonathan. I can't see you because I'm looking at recording my screen. So just tell me if anything comes up.
Don't worry. I also I'm going through everything. So so this is my first time actually seeing the analytics. I didn't know like you were actually checking performance between the blue chips, like I guess BTC and Ethereum. But I mean, right here the graph are very bad because for some obvious like scenario. But this is quite amazing actually.
Yeah, I think that's a really helpful chart actually. So if we move on to Wallet Profiler. So I believe that some of this might be blurred out unless you are a Nansen subscriber, and you'll be able to get more data depending on what chain it is. So if you support it on Nansen main product, you'll be able to get like similar addresses and things like this. So like Ethereum, but still you can see various things here. So this is your top interacting wallets. So this wallet that we're looking at in particular here, OXD1, is like interacting with OKX main wallet. So you can see the NFT Football Cup, multi-chain. So these are the main ones that they interact with. You can see it's not a ton. There's only 8 entries, but you can filter by like whatever you want. So if there's like a high volume or high transaction. So obviously if you're looking at a really active wallet, this is really helpful because you can go through each one and understand. Sure.
So to get access to that part, because for me it's blur. Like which plan offer that?
So this is any plan. So if you just have a Nansen standard or above subscription, you'll be able to access all of this data, because this data also shows on the main product as well, like in a slightly different layout. So all of this data as well shows your incoming ETH, outgoing, in terms of dollars as well. So if we go on to the last part, I don't know if they'll have any NFTs. It'll be a nice example. Doesn't look like it. We could try the other one. if I give let's just do a good example because people might want to see the NFT profiler. You just
So right now
do.
okay, yeah, thanks.
Sure.
So right
We
now
just
you
did
put the
Pranksy.
you put the ENS, right? So you guys
Yep.
support ENS right now. Okay.
Yep, we support ENS, so you can just type in whatever you want. We've got TNS or shared code, which admittedly I don't actually understand what they are, but you can search by them as well. But ENS, of course, yeah, is the most common one. So you can just search whatever one you want. Pranksy's one is obviously very public, so I've just searched that one. And then, yeah, you can see your NFTs. So these are all the ones that he holds. And you can, again, like filter by all the various categories. And you can see how much you've spent. So he spent a ridiculous amount, 300 ETH in gas, but still massively in profits. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he's
337
amazing.
ETH in gas. Oh my god.
Yeah, in gas. I think that's the highest I've seen from any wallet.
Yeah.
But maybe someone can find one that's higher. So yeah, these are also your realized gains. And then it shows you how much you've sold, how much you still own, total spent. So there is the classic. If you look at Punks, he's owned or purchased 426 ridiculous Bored
Who's
Apes,
that proxy? Who's
1,000
that proxy? Is it like
NFT
some very?
influencer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
a
That
big
makes
account.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1,200 Bored Apes. So yeah, the most ridiculous wallet. A thousand
Yeah.
World of Women NFTs. So yeah, you can go through. You can see they're buying this. Are they buying? Yes, buying that Valhalla or whatever, Mr. Rich. So this is all today, actually. So in general, like Nansen Portfolio gives you a really nice overview of like all of your data. So this is DeFi and NFTs all in one really nice, easy to understand spot. So that's one coverage for like one wallet anyway. I think it might just quickly be worth before I go on to the next one. Let me think how best to do it. So here, if you go onto portfolios on the left-hand side, if you find, so for instance, the wallet that we just looked at, and then the one that we'll look at after, if you want to like pair them together, so let's say you have 10 wallets for whatever reason, which is probably a safe idea, you can go on here and then create a new one, type in whatever it would be, and then, so let's just do it. I'll put Alex's wallets. And then here you just type in each one, or obviously, hopefully don't type it in, you just copy and paste them in. Choose the chains that you want relevant. So let's say you go onto OKC and you click that, type that one in, add it. So you can add, I think, as many as you want. And then that means, if I give you an example, that you can then track all of it from one place. So this is like an Alameda one. If you go on the dashboard.
Oh, that's an interesting one to see, actually.
Yeah, well, this one I think I've got saved from when we were writing about. So Larry, that influencer, put like a list of them. So these are from his list, not Nansen's list, if I'm remembering right. And yeah, so we've been tracking all of this. There's a lot of movement from like Alameda wallets, but that's a whole separate topic for another video.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like a portfolio of wallets, I think is what we call it. Unlimited. You can name it what you want. You can see here, like you can go across various chains, which is really amazing, which has been really helpful for like the exchange holdings, which we will look at near the end as well.
And those portfolio that you create are registered based on the wallet connect that you connect to the Nansen Portfolio, right?
Yes. So these portfolios, you can put any. It doesn't have to be your wallet. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be your connected wallet. Any that you want, basically.
What I mean, like, what I mean is like, imagine like I'm connecting to Nansen Portfolio with my own with a wallet. Let's say I can create those portfolio, and those portfolio are linked to that wallet that I connect to Nansen Portfolio, right?
Yes, it'll be connected. Yeah, you're right. So it'll be connected to your account. So like, because I'm logged in, these ones are connected to my account. So yeah, if you're like connected or you put your email, whatever, that will work. That's a good question, actually.
Yeah, they will still be there if I come back later on, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So these are all saved from like days ago or maybe weeks ago at this point. So yeah, let's have a look at one more wallet quickly. If I can find it. Hopefully I haven't closed it. Yeah, so we've got this one here as well. So this is a nice example because it has like tokens across various chains. So Ethereum, BNB chain, Polygon as well. Obviously not much, but it's nice to look at from one table. So here we've got USDT, OKT again, like we looked at earlier, and then Binance Chain, USDC. So again, this is nice because then you can look at, if we go on to one that was interesting, token allocation. You can click through here if you don't want to go on the analytics tab on its own. And hopefully this makes like a nice screenshot as well, because you have all of this in one if you ever want to show off your portfolio, whatever reason, or if you find someone else's. So for instance, I've been like tracking that FTX Exploiter wallet, so it's really easy and nice to see. Here you can see transactions again, good example of like we have other chains within here. The OKX NFT Football and Cup contract.
Yeah, so this is actually a wallet I use. I use it to do the OKX NFT World Cup because it's a campaign that we're running actually currently.
Oh, explain it. Okay. I'll be interested.
Oh, okay, I can. So I didn't mean to promote it actually, but like, okay, it's a perfect timing then to do it. So currently we are running like a OKX, we call that OKX football NFT football cup. And basically what we do is like we try to attract like a user to come download our wallet and to also like mint a country, an NFT country among the 32 countries that participate in the World Cup. And basically each match are sponsored by one of our partners. Like I can name you some, like for example, Troll or Sweat or different other sponsors. And basically those sponsors participate on putting money on a pool. And let's say if you mint like, I don't know, like the first match was I think Qatar versus Ecuador, or I forgot, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
If for example you minted the Ecuador NFT, you will earn that pool, like a portion of that pool divided by the amount of people who mint the same country. So basically, in a simple word, if your country win, you win also money from the minting, from the pool. Sorry. So that's what we're doing because I think like World Cup is a big event too, and we definitely wanted to leverage on that and to also like bring more fun for the community to participate in something that is related to like the real life world.
Nice. I really like that. I actually got Saudi Arabia in my like World Cup sweepstake. So yeah, I was loving life yesterday. They somehow beat Argentina.
Yeah,
but
it was crazy. I don't even know how is that possible. Like Argentina they have one of the best players in the world, right? Like Messi and other stuff.
Yeah, Messi.
So.
Yeah.
But I'm happy because French just beat Australia.
Yeah.
Is it Australia? Yeah, Australia.
Yeah, it was Australia. Yeah. I'm in Australia now, but I think France have a very good chance. But who knows?
We don't know. We don't know, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so gone off track to the World Cup. I could talk a lot more about that. But yeah, so this is your NFT World Cup. It sounds very cool, actually. I want to look at that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we have all these other transactions here. Finally, again, just a quick run through of what we've kind of already seen. Same type things, analytics, chain allocation, all of this. Wallet profiler. So you can see you're an NFT collector now because you've collected that. Again, showing the same things, how much you've spent, all of this. And yeah, NFTs, it should show your Football Cup balance free.
This is my gas fee.
Your gas fee, yeah, it's not quite 300.
It's very far from that guy.
Yeah. And your profit is down a tiny bit, but I guess that's harsh.
I'm definitely not profitable.
But yeah, so that's a look at kind of two OKC portfolios. Let's do now, just thinking in case I missed anything. Let's look at the entities so we can look at exchange holdings. I know we just want to go over it like briefly. So all of these are the ones that we've got so far. I think some are still yet to be announced because we're just like checking that all the wallets are all right and we're like in contact with their teams. But majority, I think, have been announced at this point. We just did the Korean one today as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Want to say
and
something there?
yeah, I think like I think the community, generally speaking, was very glad that somebody was taking that initiative, with a POF. I know like Nansen was working closely with like all the major centralized exchange, to reinforce confidence to the community, to understand how those risks are happening, and also to like reinforce credit among some centralized exchange. So we definitely like very glad like you guys took that initiative, and I'm sure it's just the beginning. Like there's gonna be more stuff to do around that. So yeah, very very glad that you guys do that.
Yeah, definitely. And like we've been in coordination with OKX, of course, and everyone figuring out like how best to do it. I know people want like proof of liabilities and all of this as well. So all of this I know is in the works from everyone. It's a big rush. I think everyone wants everything now, which obviously is not really how life works. So this is all being worked through. I think that, like figuring out how best to do it. If we have a look at OKX quickly, I know that you have a audit, like an official audit. So this is not a replacement of an audit, of course, but you have an official one happening, right?
Yeah, so I think like publicly, like OKX already said like they will like provide like a Merkle tree and also like an official audit. I think like they mentioned like by the end of this month. And those type of operation will be coordinated, I think, with like others and major centralized exchange. So hopefully it will, reinstall a bit of more confidence regarding centralized exchange activity.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's amazing, like everyone working together, and also transparency, because it should be. That's how it should be in like Web3. So I think more than anything, what I wanted to just show here is like our capacity to show like all the various chains, which is really really amazing, and like Bitcoin especially. So I don't think there's many, if any, portfolio trackers that have Bitcoin as well as like all the other EVM chains and others like Solana. So yeah, we have Bitcoin as well, which has been like super helpful, for instance, of that like FTX exploiter wallet. So they hold Bitcoin and then ETH assets as well. So you can track all of that from here. But of course, also really, really helpful for like exchange holdings. Because we can show all the various assets across all of these various chains, which then
I saw
makes
you just recently integrate Tron. I didn't see that
yeah.
last time. Okay.
Yeah, we recently integrated Tron, I think specifically, of course, it would be for Huobi as well. But I think there was another exchange that held a lot on Tron, like USDT maybe. So yeah, we worked really hard actually to like add various chains onto Nansen Portfolio to facilitate this. So recently added like Ripple as well to make sure that it was like a full picture. So this is where like the analytics thing really comes comes into its own. So here you can see like token allocation, and it's really nice once you have like a nice split. So 50% USDT, 25% BTC, and then 15% ETH. And again, yeah, you can see all of the profit and loss, which I guess is pretty irrelevant for this, but also you can see like the chain allocation and everything. So yeah, I think that's it. We have all of these at the moment. I think we will be adding even more. I'm definite that we'll be adding even more. We also have DeFi protocols, which we are figuring out how best to announce, because we're working with each of these as well in terms of like exactly what they are showing, because people want to know. It's all good like showing the numbers, but people want to know like exactly what they're looking at. So once we've like figured out best way to describe these, I think we will definitely be announcing that. We should have like, as we do. So for instance, look at this. We have like this disclaimer at the top. So I'm sure that we'll have like this in terms of like an information box showing like hopefully what each one is actually showing. Actually, last thing I just want to mention on the exchange holdings. So we should have an update coming for this very soon. I'm not going to give you a time because we might move it. I don't know, but it should be very soon. In terms of like, so I think we had feedback that people want these ranked in terms of like numbers, or just a way to like filter out and not have to click on each individual one to see like the totals. So we are working on more of like a table view, which will show the holdings.
Okay.
Yeah, so then you can quickly understand without having to go into each one. And you can also quickly understand like which ones are holding the most and all of this. So I think that should be really helpful. If anyone, and of course we're going to work with like you, Jonathan, anyone has ideas on how best to do it, because it's like a new realm that we're all entering into, definitely let us know. We always want feedback, always want ideas, and we want to do it as like best for the consumer. So yeah, definitely let us know. Is there anything that you want to mention in relation to these?
No, I think like this is a great initiative. Obviously, like the process is still like very early, so that's mean like there's still a lot of space for improvement. And you know, OKX Chain, and also I'm sure you are very close to other team. I think they give you like a lot of like constructive feedback to build like a more enhanced solution. So we've been working closely with Nansen, and we believe like they can deliver. So we will keep giving like a very transparent feedback for you to give a better product.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just thinking anything else that we need to cover on portfolio while I'm looking at it. If there are any issues, so obviously make use of these tabs. If you have feature requests, bug reports, anything, just make use of these. Here you can switch between your portfolios. And I'm thinking that is pretty much it. We have all of these social tabs here. This is where you click to log in. I'm not going to show you because it will give my email away, which I don't want to do. But yeah, you just click there to connect. I think that is pretty much it from everything. I'll stop sharing my screen for a second. But yeah, does that sound good to you, Jonathan? Anything else that you wanted to mention in terms of OKX Chain or portfolio? But other than that, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, I think like we cover most of the feature for the Nansen portfolio. I mean, obviously there's more features behind Nansen because like you guys are doing like a whole solution for data analysis. But I think like from like a portfolio perspective, that's been just checking transaction and where the money is on different chain or in different protocol. I think like you do a great job. And I think like the more chain you integrate, the more you will capture basically the whole market. Currently, I think like I check other portfolio dashboard, and I think Nansen cover the most currently on the market. And you guys don't have like a token or stuff, so you are very focused on the product, which is why like we wanted to collaborate with you guys too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I just had a look. It's 533 protocols, 47 chains. So yeah, I think we have the most coverage out of anyone, and it's all for free, which is pretty amazing. And like Jonathan said, we're going to be working with more and more people, so it should become even more comprehensive, which is hopefully quite incredible. But yeah, I think that is it. Thank you everyone for listening. Hopefully it was interesting. Hopefully you go and check out as well that World Cup thing that Jonathan mentioned, because I want to do that as well. Hopefully England win the World Cup.
I was about to ask you which team you think gonna win, but okay.
No, it's not. I don't think they're gonna win. I have hope that they're gonna win.
Okay.
I think France are gonna win. I hope England win, but yeah, they never do.
I think France gonna win. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They are pretty solid this year.
Yeah, they are good. So yeah, make sure that you subscribe, everyone. If you want to subscribe to Nansen as well, we have the links below. Go check out OKX Chain. And I think that is it. Oh, I'll quickly mention, I've got Crypto Cred with me on Friday for Nansen Unsupervised. So make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on for that. And yeah, that is about it. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Alex. Bye-bye.